Good morning, everyone, and happy hump day on this Wednesday, January the 26th, 2022. Thank you all so much for joining us for the 11:11 a.m. Fireside Chat. Today, our guest is someone many of you know, as she's the person who you met when you first started your journey onto Richfield Living. And we are so happy to welcome Samantha Edwards, who is our leasing and marketing counselor, And she handles the leasing for the villas, Lake Retreat, and the future Mountain Retreat. So welcome, Samantha, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm stuck here, sorry.
Oh, okay. You okay? All right, great. So the demolition of the former Richfield Recovery and Care Center has has enthralled us all as we've watched that building come down. I know it's very bittersweet for some, including yourself, so I'll bet you've had a range of emotions in that, you have a connection to the previous building, rogue hair here, and you will be responsible for leasing what will then replace that building. So tell us about your journey with Richfield.
So I actually tell people my first big girl job was here at Richfield. Trying to do the timeline, and it's amazing to me now thinking back. It's been 16 years.
Wow.
16 years since I first started at Richfield Living.
Well, you must have been 15 or so then.
I was just, fresh out of school. No, I was in my early 20s. I came to Richfield Recovery and Care Center as a CNA, and I worked there for about 5 years in that capacity. I absolutely loved it. I loved the residents. I loved the people that I worked with, and I carried that with me for many years after I left here. And I was gone for about 8 years before I came back. So
right. Yeah. So it's sort of like Richfield. Once you become a part of the Richfield family, that kind of sticks with you.
That does. That's right.
Yes. So you came back in a marketing capacity, and what prompted you to do that?
Well, when I left Richfield, I went on to do many other things. I kind of stayed in the healthcare kind of field, but I went on to do home health, home care, hospice. I did a lot of different roles in those jobs, but one of my favorites was the marketing role, sales, so to speak. So when I saw that this new construction was happening and Richfield was looking for someone to help, I just felt like it was the right thing, the right place for me to come back to.
It certainly is. And, as I mentioned, you are the initial point of contact for residents. And I must say that you really have a way of establishing a rapport with potential residents right away. You provide very good information, and your love for the community is very apparent, I'm sure, to those who are working with you. So you've done an awesome job.
Thank you.
Despite a little thing called a pandemic,
yeah,
you have. We were able to open during the pandemic, and, opening was just the half of it. We had to have people to open too, people to move in. So I must commend you on the awesome job that you have done throughout. And so we just are very proud of you. And not only that, but the residents that have become a part of this community, that whole relationship starts with you, and they just happen to be wonderful, wonderful people that we have here at Richfield as residents, and that are a part of this family and community. So give us an update on where we stand with apartments and how many that are available.
So thank you for everything you said. I do love being at Richfield. I love being a part of the community. We are actually, I think we're doing pretty well, despite, like you said, the little thing called the pandemic. With the villas, which we've been open actually almost 2 years now at the villas, but
April 15th will be 2 years.
Yeah. But we are at 24 out of 28, so we have 4 remaining villas to fill. And then with Lake Retreat, we are actually at 45 out of 48, so we only have 3 left at Lake Retreat. So we are filling up fast. I feel like it's gonna happen soon, but we do still have, between the 2 buildings, 7 available.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
That is really remarkable. Again, that shows a lot of work and effort. It's not only showing them, you have to go out and, spread the word, and you do a wonderful job with that. And it has been, I mean, Samantha and I have shared a workspace and office, so I know what all goes into it. So you should be commended, very definitely so. And again, all of us are marketers. Residents included, team members included. So, please tell others about how much you enjoy Richfield and Richfield living. And you never know when a friend or family member could become a neighbor.
It's true. Actually, one of the biggest ways that we get people on this campus is by word of mouth. And so people out in the community, they love to hear when people love living here or love working here. So that's one of our main ways to get people on this campus is through the people who are already here.
That's right. No, there's no better endorsement from someone that lives here. That's the best endorsement, is from someone who can speak to what we offer, what we have to offer. And I think, once again, it's just that community feel that sets Richfield apart from other places. I run into a lot of people who are watching the demolition just because of where my office is. And they ask a lot of questions about Mountain Retreat, which will be the building that will be built there after all of the demolition is done. So I can't answer those questions in most cases, so I'm glad I have you here today to shed some light on the building. And I've been asked questions like, will it be connected to the town center? And also, will it be identical to Lake Retreat? So give us some insights on the new building.
So as far as it being connected to town center, yes, it will be on the other side, opposite side of Lake Retreat. So kind of in a very similar placement to where the Recovery and Care Center was. Will it be identical? There are going to be some differences, but it's going to be very similar. The finishes will be the same. It's going to have a lot of the same floor plans. I think that we are adding a couple of new floor plans in there, but for the most part, it's going to have the same feel as Lake Retreat. It's going to be slightly larger. We're looking at more like 60-ish apartments versus 48. So we're going to have a few more offerings for the community, but all in all, it's going to look the same. It's going to be connected on the other side of the town center.
Well, you should be proud, too, of that evolution, because I think insights that you've provided about the apartments that exist currently and what the needs and desires may have helped to shape how the new building will look and what it will have to offer. So once again, you have really contributed greatly to this whole climate of growth that we're seeing here at Richfield.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's very much deserved. And are you actively leasing Mountain Retreats now?
We are. We have been pre-leasing for quite some time now. We're getting a little bit more serious about that as we're moving towards the construction actually beginning. We are at about, I want to say 15% pre-leased on that building already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So things are moving along, and I think that we should probably have a good bit of it pre-leased before it opens, kind of like we did with Villas and Lake Retreat.
Wow. Again, your hard work is paying off as it has in the past. So good job, and good job.
Thank you.
So it is obvious that you love what you do and you love working here at Richfield. But just tell us why. Tell us what you enjoy about your job.
The people, and not just the residents, but the team. I think just being here in general feels like a second family. I always say I never feel like I'm at work when I'm here. It feels like a second home. In fact, when my 2-year-old son, Miguel, every time he comes here, he'll run in the front doors and say, "It's Mommy's house."
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, but it really feels that way. It feels
That's
like
right.
I'm at home, and that's what I love about it.
And, we spend almost as much time here in our second homes as well. So that really is true. And it is really a family feel to the Richfield living community. And I tell you, the residents are very easy to love. So that is something I often say. And you mentioned your little one, Miguel. So that's a recent addition in that he has been adopted. Yep. And so that is awesome news as well. And another new development is that you went back to college this year.
Yeah. So I did start back a few months ago and trucking along with that. I should be finishing up in a couple years, but I'm excited to continue my education and really polish my skills and be able to contribute more here in my role.
Well, on Monday, we had Ms. Carolyn Bain, who talked about it's never too late. And, you're very young, so it doesn't apply to you as much. But sometimes it seems like we're down the road, but it's never too late to finish something that we started. It's never too late to be great, as we said the other day. And congratulations on both your adoption and having a 4.0 grade point average. She wouldn't tell you that, but I will.
Thank you. It's hard, but it's worth it.
Right. And you're that's a lot to juggle, and with all that goes on. We were just talking, and it's not her job doesn't just entail talking to people. If you walk the town center a few times a day doing tours, I tell you, it is a lot of physical, mental, even emotional work that goes into your job. So good job, Samantha. Thank you so much for joining me and for providing us this update on where we are. Again, I know a lot of us are so curious about the building, and so we'll have you back on periodically to give us updates and let us know when we can anticipate things to begin, things to end, and so forth. And I really do appreciate your taking time out of your busy day to spend with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You are welcome. Now, with all that said about how awesome you are and the awesome job you're doing, I encourage you and us all to take this advice that comes from the Jar of Awesomeness today, and it is provided by a quote about awesomeness, which states, "Take a moment to appreciate how awesome you are." Yeah, you. And you and me. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. And of course, if you have any questions about leasing, about any of the apartments that are available, please be sure to contact Samantha Edwards. And Samantha, if you'd like to provide your telephone number, that'd be great.
It's 380-1580, or you can find me right in the town center. I'm right near the Anzer Cafe.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you all so much. Thank you, Samantha. I hope you all will have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of the week. Oh, and I did want to remind you of a few events that we have coming up. Today at 3:30, Beanbag Baseball in the Regency Room, so we can get a little fun fitness in. And tomorrow, the Physical Well Power group will be walking the mall at Tanglewood. We have bridge tomorrow at 1:30 in the Shenandoah room. And then, of course, on Friday, the Surf and Turf dinner, which is reservation only. So be sure to make your reservation, and you can do so by calling 283-2822. 283-2822. So be sure to make your reservation. Of course, fine dining at the Quill on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning, Sunday service right here in the chapel and on Channel 62, and Sunday brunch thereafter. Thank you very much. I hope you all will have a great day, and thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.